I'm Caleb Lamb here with Alvin Fernald, the current point leader in the Sleds and Bikes category here at the Oxford Plains Dragway. Alvin, first off, thanks very much for talking with us. This sled behind us, a 2003 Ski-Doo 800. Unlike some of the other divisions that we have here, you guys going with vehicles not used to racing on asphalt. So what goes into the selection of a sled for use in drag racing?
Well, you want to find something that has a decent suspension for transfer. You lower the sleds as far as you can get them to the ground, and then you can work with your transfer in the suspension to help launch the sled. And running against other vehicles, you know, the sled bike class is a tight one. We've got stuff that runs as fast as 520s and stuff that runs as slow as 730s. So it's a wide spectrum here in the sled bike class.
And it's a lot of acceleration as well. You look at some of these other cars, it takes them a little while to fire off the line and get going. Sleds and Bikes, you guys are almost up to top speed instantaneously, which makes very little room for error for you, the drivers.
Yeah, you really got to watch it on the other end. Like myself running this stock sled, I'm in the 670 range on ET, 145 short times. Now you get done in 145 range. But when you're running against something that's running a 570, you really got to watch over your shoulder and be aware of where you are at the other end of the track so you don't break out.
Is that part of what makes this division so competitive? Because it seems like we see a different winner week in and week out.
Yeah, and everybody here in this class, they're all dedicated racers. You don't have anybody out here who's a lax driver. So, to win rounds in this class, it is a tough thing to do. I've been doing this since 2001 on snowmobiles. I started here at Oxford Dragway in 1973 on a Honda 50 at the age of 9. So I've been in and out of here for a long time.
Now tell us a little bit about your sled in particular and what it takes and what kind of parts you need to transform one of these things to get it ready for the track.
A whole lot of know-how. You buy an asphalt track. We're running a 10 and 5/8 inch wide track. It's called a narrow track. You buy a set of skis with wheels. They got to be rated for 150 miles an hour or higher. And once you select the sled that you're going to use, it all becomes the work with trying to get the sled on the ground and get your suspension to work happily in transferring and allowing the sled to stay planted and move forward, not lifting the skis way up in the air.
Now for you, you've been able to keep yourself on top of the point standings by a pretty wide margin as well with that consistency. What do you look for in terms of week in, week out, in terms of trying to fine-tune that performance and get yourself maybe closer to perfection that every racer seems to be pursuing?
Yeah, if any of us can ever find perfection. What I do is my first time trial, I push the light. The second one, I'll try to push it harder to see where I'm going red, and I just went red second time trial. I probably won't do dialing for dollars. I'll just watch to see if people pick up on ET, and I know pretty much where my sled should run. And by watching what happens at dialing for dollars, instead of me making a pass, I'll go ahead and figure my dial to what, like my friend Jeff, I watch his sled run, and when he's picked up on ET, I know I'm going to. So then I can dial my sled to that.
Fine-tune it just a little bit. Well,
yeah, and it's all reaction time is the biggest thing. Staying consistent on the tree.
Able to get that whole shot off the line and take it down the track.
That's it. That is it.
Well, thank you very much, Alvin. That is Alvin Fernald, the driver of the number X1 sled here in the Sleds and Bikes division at Oxford Plains Dragway.